Hey, 안녕하세요, 얘들아. It's me, Matt Diazabal, coming at you with a new album review. Today, I am checking out the debut album from Crystal T with her album High School Musical. Yeah. If you don't know who Crystal T is, she is a Korean indie rock artist based out of Seoul, South Korea. She's been making music since about 2014, and if you've kept up with my channel, you know I reviewed one of her earlier releases from 2020 called Pink Movie. And she's been working on her proper full-length debut with this album for the past couple of years. Last year in 2023, she dropped a few songs that will be featured on this album, like Bad Kid and Minority. And that song Minority was one of my favorite songs from last year. So I was really excited that that song's on this album and she's putting out her first album, and I'm really excited to talk about it and let you guys get a little dive into Korean rock indie scene. So let's get into it. So the Bad Kid herself is back with her debut, and I gotta say she's got some really good thoughtful songs and some really good experimental jams with this debut. The songs range from her typical style of indie rock music with some smoky lounge music and some soft ballads. She's taken a little bit of a chance on herself and venturing out into other types of music. These new songs that she's incorporating into her sound are nice songs. They are pretty good for the most part, but compared to her more rock and garage indie rock style, they don't compare to her sound. Her voice and the way she makes music more in the rock space sounds really good compared to these ballad and softer songs. A good example of those songs are Minority and Bad Kid or Buddy Buddy on this album. Those ones really stand out. Those songs are a little bit on the simpler side when it comes to structure and everything, but she's able to command those songs very well with her strong singing voice and good hooks. Particularly on the song Minority, it has a very great sound when it comes to the chorus, and you can't help but like hum along to it as you're listening to it because it's a really catchy song. So I'll play a clip of that for you right now. Her voice just does a really good job of just taking control and just bring you in, just string you along, and it's nice. The band she has here to play her backing music and everything, they aren't playing the most complicated things, but they're doing a really good job of sounding simple and playing to their strengths. And I think that's a very good thing they have on this record and their overall vibes with one another. Drums have a really good pop to them. The bass playing here is very subtle, but has a really thick feel to it. And the guitars are sounding very technical, and they have a really good dynamic feel to them. Yeah, so the band does a really good job when it's rocking really hard, but they know how to pull it back a little bit when they have like more softer ballad songs like on with an Unfolded Collar or Schoolgirl Bye Bye. And you can really hear and feel Crystal T's presence with her voice. She's able to convey a lot of emotions in her softer songs, which is really nice. So I'll play a clip of Unfolded Collar for you so you can get a sense of the presence she has there. She sounds oddly more confident in these songs. So like I said earlier, the rock songs on here sound really good. The more pulled back ballad songs, good. Her voice is really strong. Overall, the sound of the songs, not so bad. But on the more experimental songs like Boys Caravan, Sonata, and This Is Beta Testing, she seems to be doing some weird styles, experimenting, which is cool. You know, it's good to experiment every once in a while, but it feels like it does throw off the album a little bit in terms of the flow, where it's a little bit messy at times and, you know, just kind of a little janky. And especially on the song This Is Beta Testing, the production, okay, I wouldn't say the production, just how the band is playing here and her singing, they just don't feel very in sync and it feels a little off. So I want to play a clip of that so you can get a sense of that song and that jankiness they have here. something seems really off and just maybe she's dragging her words too long. The music doesn't seem on time. It just doesn't sound as good as like her other rocky songs or ballad songs. Yeah, so I think those experimental choices she did on this album kind of dragged this album down a little bit. Like on the song Sonata, she's doing some scatting at the very end of the song. That song This Is Beta Testing does like a weird later in the song, like a weird goth feel to it. Like some of these experimental songs really don't do her voice or her talent that well. On the side of the production, I think the whole album overall has a really good feel, and there's never too many moments where like something sounds badly recorded or just like mixed poorly. There were a few times where like the vocals were a little bit higher than the instruments, so they got drowned out a little bit, but not enough to be noticeable or, bad enough to ruin the album. Most of the things on this album that were not great was her stepping out of her wheelhouse a little bit and experimenting, which is cool, but it just doesn't sound as good as her rocky style that she's known for. So great. It's a pretty good debut for an artist who's been in the game for a while and always experimenting with her sound. Pretty solid. There's a good amount of solid songs on here, a few just okay songs. So I would say this debut from Crystal T is a good and solid 7.5 out of 10. Links down below. Check out Crystal T. She's really great. Leave some comments, suggestions. I'm always open to everything. And like always, 다음에 봐요. 네.